This is The Beat with Ari Melber on MSNBC, and we are turning now to an exclusive, first time ever in our newsroom, The Breakfast Club. Here, Angelique, Charlamagne the God,
hey.
DJMV. Thanks for being here.
All right, what's happening, my brother?
What's happening? You guys have a unique show, and I want to use this conversation to dig deeper into it, because you have one of the widest ranges of conversations and guests, truly in all media, all forms. Let's start with 21 Savage, who's been in the news. He comes on your show, and he talks about life in Atlanta.
It'll be like 10 of us in the back of the school, but 15, you know what I'm saying? We out from the hood, so we ratchet.
Why the hell Atlanta got so bad lately, man? I mean, Atlanta ain't never been sweet, but it's like, it's
10 times.
It's
no pun intended, but it's savages out there in Atlanta right now.
It's just the light being shined on it now. It's always been like that.
When you were talking to 21 Savage, did you ever know that he was British born? Did it matter?
Nah, it didn't matter to me. You know, it didn't matter to me because he's just a young black man from the South, just like I'm a young black man from the South. And it's a lot of the experiences that he was talking about and describing. I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I also saw a young man who wanted to evolve, you know, who understood the era in a lot of his ways and was trying to do better and was respecting and appreciating the position that he was in, you know, being this rapper who's getting paid for shows now and getting a chance to go out there and sell records. So I've always liked 21 from the start. I don't think his British background was any concern of mine.
And he moved there at such a young age.
Yeah, I think he moved, what, at 5?
5.
His lawyers say, yeah, so he was under 10.
Being there since 5, he's from Atlanta.
But do you think he felt like some immigrants do, that he had to hide that growing up, just like he had to hide it in hip-hop because it might not play right?
Well, he was here illegally. So that's why he wasn't saying anything about it. I mean, that's the facts of the matter.
He applied to get all his paperwork.
Well, his lawyers would say he was here partly legally because he had one visa, then illegally.
Right.
But you're saying there was a bigger reason than just fitting in.
Nobody ever asked him.
And he never flew anywhere.
Unless it was private.
Unless it was private. He drove everywhere he went because he didn't want those problems at the airport. Like, he was aware of his situation.
Let's look at you talking to Jay-Z.
Things you say, people take literally. Like, I remember watching a press conference at the White House, and they're quoting Jay-Z lyrics about something that you said. You ever be like, man, maybe I shouldn't have said that?
Nah, I'm an artist. I have the creative license to say whatever I feel at that moment.
Are you trying to help people understand the music better when you talk to them, or you're just asking what interests you?
I think for Jay-Z, I look at Jay-Z, I don't know about anybody else, but I look at Jay-Z as a rap god. To me, he's the greatest of all times. So the fact that he responds to things that's online, on Twitter, on social media, it just amazes me. So I asked him, like, what's his mind frame? Does he go online? Does he actually hear these things? Does he see these things? Does he hear when people are talking about it? And to me, it seems like somehow, some way, he always does, which is amazing to me.
I feel like he has people around him, too, that always let him know what's going on. That's the sense I get, because he does surround himself with people that are very in the mix. So even if he doesn't see it firsthand, I'm sure somebody on his team is like, oh, this happened.
And that moment, Charlamagne, that moment was so big that the interpretation that was going on at your table, what did this mean, then ricochets at the White House.
Jay-Z released a rap today. I turned Havana into Atlanta. Boy from the hood, I got White House clearance. Obama said, quote, chill, you gonna get me impeached. You don't need this expletive anyway, chill with me on the beach.
I guess nothing rhymes with Treasury. Because Treasury offers and gives licenses for travel, as you know, and the White House has nothing to do with it.
What does it mean that Jay-Z is so influential that the interpretation of those lyrics is actually becoming a presidential White House issue?
Yeah, I mean, what Envy says is true, but I don't even look at Jay-Z as just like a rap god. I look at Jay-Z as, he's an icon to me. He's an idol of mine, just like I look at, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I put him on the same level as Malcolm X or anybody else that inspired me, you know, throughout my life. You know, I look at him in that manner. So it's not a surprise that the White House acknowledged him. I mean, even Trump's acknowledged him in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't count Trump. Let's say a real president. Let's go back to, you're right. It means a lot that Obama acknowledged him.
He's a lawfully elected president. No?
Yeah. And I mean, Obama had Jay-Z on his playlist. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he respects Jay-Z. Why wouldn't you? Look at what the man has accomplished coming from the Marcy Projects.
I want to ask a question that's simplistic and kind of stupid, but, you know, we do that in the news. Would we have the Obama era without hip-hop before it?
Expound a little bit.
I think hip-hop definitely supported Obama and helped him get elected.
Absolutely.
Isn't hip-hop one, other than maybe sports, one of the biggest ways that America has spent decades watching, trying to understand, sometimes being intimidated by or attacking, but trying to understand what is coming out of the black community in the United States.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you know, he had an unofficial presidential anthem in Young Jeezy, My President is Black, you know, and that really put a stamp in the hood. So like, oh, okay.
Young Jeezy, Nas, and then Jay-Z did the remix.
Jay-Z did the remix.
And then there's all these hip-hop artists that you saw actually go into the White House, which we never used to see before.
Rick Ross had an ankle bracelet on.
When he visited?
Yes, he had a jail bracelet on when he visited. They said it went off when he was in the White House when they were eating.
He was like, I'm in the White House.
Yeah, I'm in the White House.
Well,
right
and
now.
isn't that at the start of one of the albums, Rick Ross says, my ankle monitor beeping.
Yeah.
Stopping at the red light.
Yeah, Obama was just different, though. Like, he charmed the whole country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much hip-hop can get credit for actually elevating Obama. Obama kind of elevated himself.
He shouted out Young Jeezy during the speech. How crazy
That
is
was
that?
at the
And it
White House
wasn't-
Correspondents' Dinner, yeah.
How
And it
crazy
wasn't
is that?
just him, too, by the way. It's him and Michelle Obama.
Yep.
The two of them, I think, as a team, just embracing hip-hop and embracing all of us, that was exciting for us because I don't feel like we've ever felt that energy.
Well, and you're talking also about someone who's so inspirational, everyone wants to take pride and own a piece, right?
And the fact he was black. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, him and Michelle. And not only just black, they embraced hip-hop.
They went to Jay-Z and Beyonce concerts. They went to concerts. Their daughter went to go see Chance. Like, we haven't seen this before.
Barack was doing the dirt off your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
And that's what I mean about the culture, because while Bill Clinton at the time, and again, time is relative, at the time was more welcomed by black leaders than other white politicians, but even he went and felt the need to give a lecture to Sister Soldier, right? That's a very different engagement of the music than Obama.
That was cool, but Bill was the saxophone on Arsenio. That was the connection with the culture that made us be like, who's that guy? You know what I mean?
Right.
That was the connection. So yeah, you just got to have a connection with the culture, because having a connection with hip-hop is having a connection with pop culture, because whether people want to accept it or not, hip-hop is pop culture, and it's been pop culture for a long time.
And it's the most influential form of music, period.
No doubt, in America.
If you want to influence people, it's hip-hop that's going to make that happen.
Right, and it is interwoven with history, because most every banging song is a nod and a reflection of past music, right?
Yes.
So there's this constant generational interplay. People who don't understand it say, you rip that off from somebody else. And it's like, well, that's what all the Renaissance painters do. Culture's always a conversation across generations, but here it's done with salute. Thinking of generations, let's take a look at your conversation with the legend Dick Gregory.
Ooh.
I never thought I'd see the day I'd pray to God that if I'm born over again, I want to be a white man.
Really?
Now, I'm super black, yeah. They're so lucky, man. When we think about all the stuff that happened to us, and when we finally get a black president, that's why them white folks is lucky. They get a behaved Negro. I ran for president in 1968, and had I won, the first thing I would do would dig up that rose garden and plant me a watermelon patch.
What was Dick Gregory getting at with your conversation, and why is it important for you all to have that conversation with him and your listeners?
I mean, Dick Gregory is a comedian at the end of the day. He's a comedian that tells a lot of truth. And, you know, in that instance, he was just saying, look, y'all better be glad y'all got somebody like Barack, because I'm a radical Negro, and I'd have been in there wilding, okay? And that's all he was saying to me. I love Dick Gregory, man. Rest in peace to Dick Gregory.
Rest in peace, Dick Gregory.
He's saying I'd have been super black.
That's all. That's all. That's all he was saying. I'm going to be super black. I'm going to be radical. Word is bond. I'm going to be radical. Y'all lucky that we in here behaving after everything that this country has done to me and my people. You know what I'm saying? After, 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow segregation, mass incarceration, you're lucky that we ain't out here wilding. You know what I'm saying? Thank God y'all got a well-behaved man in here like Barack, who's just a little bit more peaceful than me.
And
That's all he was saying.
And isn't that always the conversation? Anytime you have to force power to concede anything, right? If there's Martin Luther King and there's Medgar Evers, there's also Malcolm X.
Absolutely.
There's a stronger, more militant version of how do you want to resolve this?
Yes, and I think you need a little bit of all of it. You know what I'm saying? Black people are not a monolith. And sometimes black people, we have to remember that. Like, just because, he may choose to move a different way than I'm moving, if our end goal is the liberation of our people, that's all we should be concerned about. Like, we can't make the same mistakes that our forefathers made. Malcolm X and, Martin Luther King Jr. were Malcolm X was calling him an Uncle Tom and calling Martin a coon and all of this other stuff. And Martin was not engaging. I don't want to engage with that radical guy. So it's just like, yo, they both wanted the same exact thing.
Same goal.
Different approach, common goal.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
I want to play some Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, boy.
And it's fun, and it's exciting, and it also makes me just think about the unique positions you're in, and I guess radio is always going to have a special relationship with the music. But here's Wiz Khalifa.
We were talking about our favorite fruits and vegetables. What's your favorite fruits and vegetables?
I like to eat, like, slices of apples.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you
Green
have to cut the
apples,
apple
red
in
apples?
slices? You have to cut the apple in slices for a reason, the same way you got to break a banana off. You can't just bite into the apple.
I'm just trying to help you out, bro.
Is it hard to stay inspired when you're rich?
I'm not inspired by material things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like money and things like that. I love that, but it's like I could still look at the sunset and be like, man, this is beautiful.
When you have those conversations, do you feel like we're getting real? This is a conversation that would be happening even if it wasn't on the radio? Or is there always a persona with people who are this creative?
See, I think with artists coming on the Breakfast Club, that's the best part about it. It's not just about an album. It's not just about their personal life. We just have real conversations. And sometimes we could talk about apple slices. But I think that conversation went to eating bananas, right?
Yeah, that turned into a banana eating
question.
He was giving you tips on how to eat the banana.
To eat bananas, right.
And randomly, I saw him eating a banana the following week at his concert, and it was not the way he said.
It was not the way he said.
Hold on. Are you making a little news here? Is this a scoop?
I did see him eat a banana.
Was
Sorry,
he
Wiz.
inconsistent?
How do you eat it?
Regular.
So that conversation, like that, for me, I'll just speak for myself. Because I love Wiz, and I've never met him. And I'm, as a fan, I'm watching, I'm thinking, this is just like super funny.
Right.
They see him talk to you guys about fruit, literally, and someone else will be like, what are you really saying? It's like, no, you're talking about normal stuff.
Right.
And that's why we do all our interviews after the show, because we want to make time for those long-form conversations. When I look at all the great, interviewers throughout history, whether it's Oprah or, Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, the thing that they always did was have these long-form conversations with their guests. And when you have those long conversations, you get stuff like that,
And I think people, when they come on the show, they anticipate that's going to happen. If you come on the show, you know it's not going to be the regular Q&A that you're going to do. It's more of a conversation, and it's time for you to open up. They don't ever tell us. Tell us you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that. They have to know everything's on the table.
But you guys tell us that, but we don't listen.
No, and you guys run long. I mean, when I got my invite, right, to come be on the Breakfast Club once, and obviously, like, I called my family, I sent them an email.
He said once.
I keep it real, just it was one time.
You're always invited. Anytime you want to come, you're invited.
And I was obviously excited, and I get there early and get ready, waiting, and then it's like I just waited, I think, an hour while I watched your Meek Mill interview run way over. He'd just come out of prison, and it was important, and I listened to the whole thing. It was fascinating. It was just like, oh yeah, like this was not scheduled. I don't think you knew that he was going to want to open up for that long, and you just kept going.
Right. And that's the best thing. I mean, Meek Mill, we thought it was going to be a 20-minute conversation. He seemed like he didn't necessarily want to do radio that day, but he wound up staying for over an hour, having conversations about everything.
We apologize for keeping you waiting too, man.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of the
But
story.
you had an opportunity to talk to Meek Mill also afterward, right?
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
No, and Meek later, we talked to him as well about the criminal justice work they're doing, and it was funny because he sometimes can seem, I don't know if shy is the right word, but he's not immediately, it's not like Diddy when he comes in the room necessarily, but then he kept going and going.
Well, I think this is a new world for Meek. You understand what I'm saying? Like, Meek was never on the MSNBCs and the CNNs before. Like, Meek's whole profile has risen. I feel like he's really found his purpose. Like sometimes things, sometimes things happen to you so God can work through you.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's what I think's happening to him right now. So he probably really was shy on this platform. He's like, oh, MSNBC.
And that's always the story with adversity. It's like in Batman, Bane says, no one cares who I was till I put on the mask.
Yeah.
And Kanye, when he first dropped, said nobody cared about me before the accident and had my jaw wired.
Yeah.
I think what's great for Meek, though, is that before he had the story to tell and people wouldn't believe him. When he said, I was falsely accused of something, this didn't happen, no one believed it. They're like, you did it. But now that we have all this evidence and we see what's been going on behind the scenes and with the police departments and with the judge, now people are like, okay.
Or people do the splitting and they say, well, you don't get to complain about that because you're rich now. And it's like, no, the whole point is we have a system that often, even and beyond, you could be rich, powerful, connected, African American. If you have that bail system hanging over you, you're toast. I mean, had he not gotten out early, which is what happened because of the legal work and all the stuff we've covered, That was going to be several years
And the
for
fact
wheelies.
that a judge could have so much power over when you get out is incredible.
But he's also excited because people have his back. Talking to him the other day, he was just excited that people believe in him. Whether it was Jay-Z, whether it was the Breakfast Club, whether it was Michael Rubin, that people actually believe in him, fighting for him, gives him the power and the feeling to help fight for other people. So that was really big for him.
I actually think Meek probably cared about the Drake battle more than he did jail, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as backlash.
Being down 23, or you mean in the public perception?
Yeah, it's a public perception because the backlash from social media was terrible for him after the Drake battle. You know, for prison, it was like, yo, we got your back, Meek. You know, we riding with you. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it that rap beef can redefine a whole career?
Because you either win or you lose.
It makes you look weak.
But
a lot of people look at it as weak, which I don't. It's a rap battle.
And also, that's your skill. That's your skill being tested. So if we have a rap battle and I don't win, now your skill isn't what you think it is because you do that to be the best. And if you're not the best, then...
It's kind of like boxing. If Floyd Mayweather lost, would you look at him the same way?
Yeah. Right, because you're saying that's what you do, that's in your ring.
I would still look at him the same way.
I don't talk about Floyd Mayweather one way or the other because I never want to see him in the street.
Yeah, I still look at him the same way. I mean, Jay got a loss on his belt to some people.
To some people.
That was arguable.
You're talking Nas,
Ether versus
That
Takeover.
was a split decision.
Yeah, that was a split decision.
That's very split, I thought.
I like Takeover better, but I mean, the streets say Ether. You know, I mean, that's why we were disappointed when the Meek and Drake thing happened because Meek, yo, you the spitter from Philly. Like, you're supposed to jump all over this kid from Canada.
Right.
Like, you know, that's when
But isn't that always the mistake? If you start profiling, you're making assumptions that are about groups, not individuals.
That's true, because Drake...
Canada.
Yeah.
Last question. Last question. Wiz came at you hard for your old laptop. Are you ever going to update that laptop?
We did.
They did, but they just got us like...
Newer old laptops.
They're old, yeah. They're still old, but they're new.
It's like a
make hits from the 80s.
Yeah.
It sounds so crazy. Your
like
new laptop is old.
No, he doesn't. The funniest thing is today, he did Donkey of the Day, and right before we're about to go up, the laptop dies.
See?
So he's on the floor looking for the plug. It's just an old-ass laptop.
I like it, though.
The truth of the matter is our studio people come in and out of there. They're not going to give us really expensive laptops for someone to come in and break it. So I guess the reason
Yeah, but you deserve it. Was he looking for the plug or was he looking for the load?
Looking for the plug. Listen, we've been there for 9 years. I've created a lot of magic on them old laptops. So it's it's like the MPC.
You know what? That old laptop on the Breakfast Club is like your vinyl, and I think that's a fitting point to end on. I'm big fans of what you guys do, and I think the conversations you have, as we've shown on our news show, are obviously resonant and important to a lot of people. So thank you very much, DJ Envy, Charlamagne, Angela, for coming through.
You too, Ari.
Thank you.
You got to come up for the second time now.
Yeah,
that's up to you.
Anytime.
That's up to you. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.